Well, the masterpieces of the Louvre don't compare to the simple pleasures of a kebab.
When you're traveling, street food is the perfect way to try a country's traditional dishes on the cheap. So here are 10 amazing street foods that can be bought for under $1.
$1? I've never seen $1. Nobody's got $1. Let us see the dollar.
Pad Thai, Thailand.
I'm a customer. Try the pad thai.
Pad Thai is the ideal street food because you can get an entire meal for an insanely low price. It'll keep you full for hours, and you'll still have money to spend on whatever souvenirs may catch your fancy. In case you're unfamiliar with the dish, it's essentially a noodle stir-fry containing meat, vegetables, and obviously noodles. The noodles used are usually rice noodles, which became popular in Thailand during World War II after a rice shortage. Despite what the name implies, this dish might not even be native to Thailand. But that doesn't mean that they don't make a mean pad thai.
A good artist copies. A great artist stills.
Odds are that this food item drew inspiration from the traditional Chinese noodle stir-fry and that the recipe was tweaked to make it fall in line with the flavors typically associated with Thailand. The noodles are stir-fried in egg and flavored with things like shallots, red chili pepper, and chopped roasted peanuts. You'll be given the option to add condiments such as vegetables, bean sprouts, or lime if you want to. That's what's great about many of the foods on this list. They can be tailored to suit your own personal tastes, which allows you to get the maximum level of enjoyment. As a general rule, you really can't go wrong with noodles, so don't miss out on this delicious experience.
You've gotta live life while you can.
Bao Buns, China.
Hi, I'm Bun Bun.
Hey! They may be cheap, they may be small, but they contain a whole lot of flavor and a whole lot of history. Legend has it that Bao Buns, or Baozha, were created in China by a great military leader in the 3rd century AD. The fact that they've stood the test of time is truly a testament to how amazing they are. These delicious buns are very similar to steamed dumplings, except the outside has a more bread-like consistency. The soft, puffy bun is filled with sweet and savory fillings, often including some kind of meat. Upon trying these, it's pretty much a guarantee that it'll be love at first bite.
We fell in love when we first met on a trolley.
While bao buns are fantastic on their own, you can also opt to dunk them in one of the available dipping sauces, such as vinegar or soy sauce. If you're feeling ambitious, you can try a variety of sauces, as well as eating them as is. Just find the way you like them best. When in China, be sure to try some of their authentic dishes. And since they're so cheap, easily found, and have a rich history, bao buns are a great place to start.
Well, every journey has to start somewhere.
Doubles, Trinidad and Tobago.
Make it a double.
Make it a triple.
When in this Caribbean twin island country, make it a priority to get your hands on their world-famous doubles. You won't have to look too hard to find them, since they're pretty much the most common street food on the island. Doubles are made with 2 pieces of fried flatbread called baras. The baras are filled with a chickpea curry, which is referred to as curry chana. If you want, you can eat doubles as it's served, or you can experiment with toppings, of which there's a huge variety, so don't be afraid to get creative. Popular toppings include mango, tamarind, cucumber, and pepper sauce. A word of warning, doubles might be street food, but eating them on the go and out of your hands is a rather messy experience, to say the least.
It's not their experience that matters.
Be sure to load up on napkins before digging in. It might not be the prettiest meal out there, but don't let its appearance deter you. It's more than worth the mess. If you're a fan of Indian food, you'll find this food item to be a fresh twist on your old favorites, making it a must-try. Interestingly enough, this dish only originated in the 1930s, making it a pretty recent creation. It's such a staple dish in Trinidad and Tobago that no visit there is complete without it.
Don't worry. We'll be ready for it.
Halo Halo, Philippines.
Oh, yes, it's Halo night. Let me just dry my tootsies.
If you want a description of this food item, in a nutshell, look no further than its name. Halo Halo translates directly to mix mix, which relates to the fact that this dessert is made up of an assortment of ingredients that you need to mix for optimal enjoyment. The recipe varies from place to place, but regardless of where you purchase it, you're going to want to post pictures of your Halo Halo on all your social media platforms. It's usually one of the prettiest foods you will ever lay eyes on. The only problem is that it may make regular ice cream seem boring from that point on.
Too exotic?
How are you supposed to appreciate plain old vanilla ice cream after you've seen this extravagant arrangement? Halo Halo contains ice cream and shaved ice with evaporated milk poured over it, and when it comes to toppings, the possibilities are endless. It can include puffed rice, tapioca pearls, fresh fruit, sweet potato, sweetened beans. The list goes on and on. This dish is made so aesthetically pleasing thanks to the beautiful colors of the ingredients. This is the perfect dessert because it's so light and refreshing, and it will give you the boost you need to get through the rest of your busy day.
Oh my! Suddenly I'm full of energy.
Banh Mi, Vietnam.
So just finishing up my banh mi. That's what tech people call sandwiches.
We owe a lot to baguettes. Other than being delicious, they actually led to the creation of banh mi, one of the most delicious and cheapest street foods out there. In the 19th century, Vietnam was occupied by France, which meant that there was a significant French cultural influence, especially when it came to food. Baguettes quickly gained popularity in Vietnam, making frequent appearances at dinner tables across the country. The result of a fusion between French and Vietnamese cuisine, the banh mi came to be in the mid-20th century. Utilizing the Vietnamese twist on the French baguette as the bread, banh mi is a sandwich loaded with meat and vegetables.
Sounds familiar.
Popular fillings include grilled chicken, pork belly, Vietnamese sausage as protein, cilantro, cucumber, or pickled carrots as vegetables, and mayonnaise or spicy chili sauce as condiments. With so many possible combinations, you could eat banh mi for days on end without ever repeating the same meal. That makes these sandwiches perfect if you enjoy trying new things and experimenting with funky combinations. Banh mi is actually pretty popular worldwide, especially in places with large Vietnamese communities. But like anything else, eating it in its country of origin is always the optimal experience.
It just feels so right.
Pastel de Nata, Portugal.
Really might go to South America.
That says Portugal.
That's right.
This is a list of street foods you can purchase for $1 or less, but most people would gladly pay an arm and a leg to get their hands on a pastel de nata, a mouth-watering Portuguese egg tart. In terms of ingredients, they're mainly made of the usual baked goods ingredients: eggs, butter, and sugar. They often have a light dusting of cinnamon on top, which is really just the perfect touch. Their crusts are wonderfully flaky, and the filling is so creamy. Good luck trying to eat just one. To make things even better, they're considered a snack, meaning that it's acceptable to eat them at any time of day.
So anytime you want to have it, you can have it.
Pastel de nata have a very interesting origin story. In the 19th century, monks in Lisbon used egg whites to starch their clothes. And instead of simply throwing away the yolks they didn't use, they decided to use them to make tarts. At this time, religious institutions in Portugal were no longer receiving funding, so in order to try and save their monastery, they began to sell their pastries. As valiant as they were, their efforts were not enough, and the monastery closed down. Ultimately, a local sugar refinery bought the pastel de nata recipe from the monks and began making it themselves. Today, pastel de nata can be bought all over the country.
Anywhere?
Anytime, baby.
Falafel, Middle East.
Instead of telling Ted you love him, you said falafel?
This vegetarian street food has had a massive rise in popularity worldwide, but to experience a truly authentic falafel, the Middle East is the place to go. There's no definitive answer as to where exactly this food item originated, with many places claiming to be the originators and naming it their national dish. You should take the fact that these countries are fighting over the falafel as a sign of how incredible it is. Ridiculously cheap and ridiculously tasty, falafels can be served in pita wraps or on a plate along with vegetables and rice. The principal ingredient is chickpeas, which are ground up and mixed with several different seasonings, including coriander, paprika, cumin, onion, raw garlic, and fresh parsley.
How many spices did you put in this?
All of them.
It is next shaped into either a bite-sized ball or a heartier patty and then fried. Thanks to their high protein content, you won't go hungry when snacking on falafels. For this reason, many vegetarians actually use it as a substitute for meat, including it on salads and in burgers. A fun fact about the falafel is that it became so popular that McDonald's locations in Egypt actually began selling their own take on the food item, the McFalafel. Unfortunately, this is no longer available, but you're probably better off sticking with the street vendors anyway.
Sometimes the old ways
our best.
Kimbap, South Korea.
This is the best Korean food I've ever had.
If you're a fan of sushi, you'll adore kimbap. It's a very similar food item, except its origins are Korean, not Japanese. It's prepared in a similar fashion, but with kimbap, the meat is cooked, not raw. Naturally, many of the other ingredients involved differ as well, but the general idea is the same. During preparation, a sheet of nori seaweed is topped with a layer of rice, followed by a variety of different fillings. There's usually some form of vegetables included, such as carrot, spinach, or cucumber. Sometimes the vegetables are pickled, like kimchi, a very popular Korean food made by pickling cabbage.
You know, I've never eaten Korean food, but thank you for the information.
In terms of protein, bulgogi, squid, crab, and tuna are quite common, but eggs can often be used as well. Don't worry if you don't eat meat, because most places will also have vegetarian options. Finally, the whole thing is rolled up and sliced into bite-sized pieces. This makes it a great snack to pick up on a busy day of sightseeing because you can easily eat it on the go. Kimbap is a great side at dinner, especially if your main course has a bit of heat to it, as it helps to cut the spice. However, these are still amazing on their own. South Korea has so much great food to offer, and this is a fantastic place to start, especially if you're trying to travel on a budget.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Hey.
Shawarma, the Middle East.
You ever tried shawarma? I don't know what it is, but I want to try it.
In an iconic line from Marvel's 2012 film Avengers, Robert Downey Jr.'s character Iron Man voices his craving for shawarma. In the film's closing shot, viewers see him, along with the rest of the Avengers, enjoying the Middle Eastern dish. Anyone who's eaten shawarma can testify to the character's good taste. The meat, typically lamb, chicken, or beef, is cooked on a vertical spit, off of which it's sliced when the time comes for the meal to be prepared. Shawarma can be enjoyed on a plate or wrapped in a pita. Whichever way you choose to consume this dish, it'll be loaded with tasty ingredients.
Fat and juicy.
Alongside the meat, you'll likely find cucumbers and tomatoes, pickled root vegetables, and tabbouleh, a veggie salad mainly made of thinly sliced parsley. What really makes shawarma great, however, are the sauces. There's hummus, of course, a widely loved chickpea-based spread, as well as a garlic sauce. And if you want to step out of your comfort zone, you can try amba, a mango pickle condiment that adds a delightful tang. If you get a plate, the meat and vegetables are typically served on a bed of rice, while if you opt for a wrap, the pita will be grilled so that it's perfectly crisp, making it the perfect street food.
It's hard making something perfect, but it's worth it.
Tacos, Mexico.
Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday.
There's really nothing quite like authentic Mexican food, so while vacationing there, be sure to take full advantage of all the amazing cuisine at your fingertips. Speaking of fingertips, tacos make for a fantastic street food because they require no utensils to eat. We're all about finger food here. The base of any taco is the shell, made of either a corn or wheat tortilla and filled with whichever meat you prefer, from pork, chicken, beef, or even seafood. You can also opt for a vegetable-only filling. Then you garnish it with whatever topping you please.
What do you decide? What do you choose?
There's guacamole, avocado, lettuce, onions, salsa, cilantro, and so much more. Just don't go crazy. You don't want to overload your taco. That's just asking for disaster. You won't believe the number of varieties of tacos that exist. There are several traditional versions, as well as many non-traditional versions. Fun fact, hard shell tacos fall under the latter category. If it's not soft shell, it's not authentic. But authentic or not, as long as you like the fillings, it doesn't really matter which kind of taco you're getting. It's just one of those foods that's amazing in all its forms.
This is a win-win situation.
Stay for seconds and tap or click another great video. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notification squad.